1 year from today, you will either be rich or making excuses for why you are not. Same amount of time, completely different outcome. The only variable is what you do in the next 12 months. Most people will spend that year the same way they spent the last one, working hard, getting nowhere, watching others build wealth while wondering what secret they are missing. There is no secret, there are 10 steps, and I am going to give you every single one of them right now. Not theory, and not motivation, the exact blueprint that separates those who build wealth from those who just dream about it. 12 months, 10 steps, your entire financial future. Let us begin. Before we dive deeper, hit like and subscribe so you never miss our videos, and share this with someone who needs to see it. Step 1. Delete your timeline. Here is where everyone fails before they even start. You have expectations about how fast wealth should come, how quickly your efforts should pay off, how soon you deserve to see results. Delete all of it. Those expectations are not based on reality. They are based on highlight reels, on overnight success stories that took 10 years, on social media fantasies designed to make you feel behind. Rich people operate on different timelines. They plant seeds knowing the harvest comes later. They invest today for returns they will not see for years. They build foundations that look like nothing until suddenly they look like everything. But here is what changes everything. When you delete your timeline expectations, you stop making desperate moves. You stop chasing quick wins that destroy long-term wealth. You stop abandoning strategies that need time to compound. 1 year is not actually about getting rich in 1 year. It is about building the machine that makes you rich for the rest of your life. Delete the desperation. Install the patience. That is step 1. Step 2. Audit everything you cannot fix what you cannot see. Most people have no idea where their money actually goes, no idea how they actually spend their time, no idea which habits are building wealth and which are destroying it. This week, track everything, every dollar, every hour, every decision, not to judge yourself, to see the truth. Where is money leaking? Where is time disappearing? What activities generate income and what activities just feel productive? This audit will reveal patterns you have been blind to for years, subscriptions you forgot existed, time blocks consumed by entertainment disguised as relaxation, income sources you have neglected while chasing shiny objects. Ready for the uncomfortable part? The audit will show you that you already have enough resources to build wealth. You are just deploying them wrong. Most people do not have an income problem. They have an allocation problem. Find the leaks, redirect the flow. That is step 2. Step 3. Cut ruthlessly. Now that you can see the truth, act on it. Cancel every subscription that does not directly generate income or dramatically improve your life. And every time commitment that does not serve your wealth goal. Eliminate every expense that exists out of habit instead of intention. This feels like deprivation. It is not. It is liberation. Every dollar you stop wasting is a dollar that can compound. Every hour you reclaim is an hour you can invest in building. Every commitment you end is capacity you can redirect toward wealth. Entitled people think cutting means suffering. Wealthy people know cutting means focusing. What are you going to eliminate this week? The average person leaks thousands of dollars annually on things they do not use, do not need, and do not even remember buying. That money invested over 12 months changes everything. Cut now, compound later. That is step 3. Step 4. Build one income skill. Here is the truth about wealth that nobody wants to accept. Your income is a direct reflection of the value you can create in the marketplace. Not your effort, not your intentions, not your potential, your demonstrable, marketable, valuable skill. If you want to earn more, become more valuable. Pick one high-income skill and master it over the next 12 months. Not 5 skills. Not whatever seems interesting this week. One skill. Complete focus. Total immersion. Sales. Copywriting. Marketing. Coding. And design. Financial analysis. Leadership. Pick based on your natural advantages and market demand. Here is the brutal truth. Generalists stay broke. Specialists get rich. The person who is pretty good at many things earns average income forever. The person who is exceptional at one thing commands premium prices. One skill, 12 months. That is enough time to go from beginner to dangerous, from dangerous to valuable, from valuable to wealthy. Stop dabbling, start mastering. That is step 4. Step 5, create income streams. One income source is a vulnerability. Multiple income sources is a fortress. But here is where most people destroy themselves. They try to build 5 income streams at once and end up with 5 weak trickles instead of one strong flow. They spread themselves so thin that nothing gets the attention required to actually work. Wrong approach. Build your primary income first. Get it strong. Get it stable. Get it growing. Then and only then, add a second stream, something that leverages what you already built in something that requires minimal additional time because it compounds your existing effort. See, if you are serious about building multiple income streams the right way, you need a system, not random side hustles, not scattered attempts. A proven framework that builds wealth systematically. That is exactly why I created the VYBO Wealth Blueprint. It is the complete system for building wealth the way self-made millionaires actually do it. Inside, you will find the exact frameworks for identifying high-value skills, building primary income, and strategically adding streams that compound instead of compete. No guesswork, no wasted effort, just the blueprint that actually works. Link is in the description. Your wealth is waiting. Go get it. Most wealthy people have 3 to 5 income streams maximum, not 15. Not the dozens that gurus promise. A focused few that each generates significant return. Quality over quantity, depth over breadth. That is step 5. Step 6. Automate wealth capture. Here is where systems beat willpower every single time. The moment money hits your account, it should automatically split. Portion to investments, portion to emergency reserves, portion to skill building. What remains is what you live on, not the other way around. Not spend first and save what is left. Capture first, live on the rest. Set this up once and never think about it again. Remove yourself from the equation entirely, because the version of you that is tired, stressed, or tempted will make terrible decisions. The automated system makes perfect decisions every single time. But here is what most people miss. The percentage matters less than the consistency. 10% captured automatically beats 30% captured when you remember. The habit of wealth capture is more valuable than any single deposit. Start with whatever percentage does not hurt, then increase it by 1% every month. By the end of 12 months, you will be capturing amounts that would have felt impossible at the start. Automate the capture. Remove the decision. That is step 6. Let me bring this together. 6 steps down. Delete timeline expectations. Audit everything. Cut ruthlessly. Build one income skill. Create focused income streams. Automate wealth capture. These 6 steps alone will transform your financial life. But we are only halfway there. The next 4 steps are about protecting and compounding what you build, because making money means nothing if you cannot keep it growing. Step 7. Invest before you spend. Most people pay everyone else first. Landlord, utility companies, restaurants, streaming services. Everyone gets their cut before you get yours. Flip that completely. Pay yourself first. Invest before any discretionary spending happens. Treat your investment contribution like a bill that cannot be missed, because it is the most important bill you will ever pay. Here is what wealthy people understand. Every dollar you invest today is worth dramatically more than a dollar you invest in 10 years. Time in the market beats everything. The money you invest this year has decades to compound. The money you invest later has less runway and less impact. This is not about deprivation. This is about prioritization. You can still enjoy life. You can still spend on things that matter, but the investment happens first. Non-negotiable, automatic, protected. Invest first, spend second. That is step 7. Step 8. Protect your environment. You will become the average of your environment, not just the people, the information, the conversation, the energy. Everything you expose yourself to shapes what you become. This is not motivation. This is neuroscience. Your brain adapts to its inputs. Surround yourself with broke thinking, and you will think broke. Surround yourself with wealth building, and you will build wealth. But here is where most people sabotage themselves. They try to change their behavior while keeping their environment the same. They want different results while consuming the same content, having the same conversations, and spending time with the same people. That approach fails every single time. Audit your inputs as ruthlessly as you audited your expenses. What content are you consuming? What conversations dominate your time? Who are you spending hours with every week? Upgrade the environment. Watch the results follow. That is step 8. Step 9. Compound your advantages. Every advantage you build should create the next advantage. The skill you develop should generate income. That income should fund investments. Those investments should buy back your time. That time should accelerate your skill development, which generates more income. This is the wealth spiral. And once it starts spinning, it becomes almost impossible to stop. But here is what separates winners from everyone else. Wealthy people think in systems, not events. They do not see a win as an endpoint. They see it as an input into the next cycle. Every success becomes fuel for bigger success. Broke people celebrate and reset. Wealthy people compound and accelerate. What advantages have you already built that you are not leveraging? What wins are sitting dormant instead of feeding the next level? What resources do you have that could multiply if properly deployed? Find your advantages, stack them, and compound them. That is step 9. Step 10, execute without emotion. This is where everything either comes together or falls apart. The market will test you. Investments will drop. Income will fluctuate. Opportunities will disappear. Setbacks will hit when you least expect them. Your emotions will scream at you to panic, to abandon the plan, to chase something new, to do anything except stay the course. Ignore them. Wealthy people execute their system regardless of how they feel. They invest when the market crashes because that is what the system says. They keep building skills when progress feels slow because that is the plan. They maintain discipline when motivation disappears because discipline was never dependent on motivation. Here is the brutal truth about 12 months. You will not feel like doing this for 12 months. You will have days where quitting feels logical, weeks where progress is invisible, months where doubt dominates. Execute anyway. The plan does not require your belief. It requires your compliance. Follow the steps. Trust the system. Let time do what time does. Execute without emotion. That is step 10, the 12-month reality. Let me be direct with you. These 10 steps will not make everyone rich in 12 months. Some of you will need 18 months. Some will need 24. The timeline depends on where you start, how consistently you execute, and factors outside your control. But here is what I can guarantee. If you follow these 10 steps for 12 months, you will be in a dramatically different financial position than you are today. You will have skills that generate income, systems that capture wealth, habits that compound advantages. You will be on the path, and once you are on the path, arrival is just a matter of time. The people who dismiss this as too slow will spend the next 12 months exactly where they are now. The people who execute will look back and wonder why they did not start sooner. Which group are you joining? 10 steps, 12 months, your entire financial future. Delete timeline expectations, audit everything, cut ruthlessly, build one income skill, create focused income streams, automate wealth capture, invest before you spend, protect your environment, compound your advantages, execute without emotion. This is not a secret, it is a system. The same system that has built wealth for generations. The same steps that as self-made millionaires followed before they were millionaires. The information is no longer the obstacle. You have everything you need. The only question is whether you will execute or make excuses. 12 months from today, you will wish you started now. So start now. Your move.